Hello, welcome to another vlog, welcome to another morning, and I've got a slightly different mic on again, so hopefully you should be able to hear me. I've also put this little muff thing on there, so it's not very good, they don't stay on very well, but I'll give it a go anyway. It's a very windy morning. I've got my back against the tide, as you can see just there, the tide's there, and we're out with Mr. O this morning. We're at a place called New Brighton, and you can see by the lighthouse, we're at New Brighton Lighthouse. We've been here since sunrise. We didn't really have any colour in the sky, but we had some nice mood, some nice atmosphere, some nice dark, sort of deep dark cloud, where the storm seemed to have gone across, sort of, it came over sort of probably this way, coming over this way. It looked pretty good. I've already taken the photographs because there's no way I could video and talk in the wind, because the wind is blowing this way, something crazy, and it's whipping around the side of this wall quite a lot. So I was watching the tripod, making sure the tripod didn't tip over, which is here. The bag's covered up, trying to get the sand out of it, but I did a stupid thing. When I got here, I had my wide angle lens on, and I wanted to put the narrow lens on, or the kit lens, the 18-55, just to get a little bit more, you know, to get a little bit closer to the lighthouse. And I opened it, and the wind caught up, and I felt some sand hit me inside the face, so I think I've got sand inside the camera, so when I get back, I'm going to have a look and clean it again. But yeah, this is what we're doing, this is where we are this morning. It's not going to be a very long video. I'm basically here because K&F Concept, and I'm not sponsored by them at all, I promise you. This is just, they've sent me some gear to review again, and I don't mind doing it. I quite like the product. I think it's very reasonable for the money. Yeah, they've sent me two items, both still in their boxes. I'm going to unbox them here. These boxes are a little bit different to the last ones. These are a little bit more plainer and black. No fancy boxes on these. These are just boxes to hold the filters. And what we've got here, and these little yellow bits of paper on there, are basically to remind me what the prices are. Whoa, this is a good test for this volume, so we are testing, 1, 2, 3, the wind's coming straight in my face. Yeah, this is the K&F Concept digital filter, high definition filter. It is this one is, if I remember rightly, it's on the back here, it's a 77mm, ultra slim. It says no spot, whatever that is, no spots X blacks X issue, whatever that is. I don't know what that means, but it is I think it's an ND2-ND32 polarizer. No, it's not. It's an ND2-ND32 ND filter. So basically it's a variable filter that you can turn the front of it, and it'll turn it and give you a different grade of filter. So I'm going to test it out against the water here, and this one's a very similar thing. This one here on the yellow bit of and this one's K&F Concept price. If you go on their website, it's $49.99, and you're getting a 10% off if you use the link in my description below, which is pretty good for a small piece of kit, that is. This one looks like a free lens cloth, which is pretty nice. This is the same 77mm. They do them in different sizes. This one is a polarizer, so it's a CPL and fader. So this is an ND2-ND32. It actually says it on the box, just on there. ND2-32, that's a massive difference. Right, I just wanted to say, this is a jump in back to our home. So yeah, I was just explaining these filters out in the field, and I got myself a little bit confused. I wasn't really thinking about what I was doing. When I said this is an ND2 so ND32, 32 stops, it's not 32 stops at all. It's an ND2 to ND32. That is 1 stop to 5 stops of light. The same with the one with the polarizer and the one without the polarizer. So my mistake. I'm going to jump back to the film now. So yeah, we're looking at 1 stop to 5 stops, not 32 stops of light. So we're not talking about 25-minute exposures at all. That's more like what they are. Sorry for making a mistake out there. I'll put a little graph up. I'm going to put a graph up there now in this corner, just up there, and that's going to explain what the settings are. So yeah, 1 stop to 5 stop variable, not 32 stops of light. Crazy. 32, that's a massive difference. So you can have a real slight exposure, so you can get sort of 1 second, 2 seconds. You're going to wind it right up to sort of probably minutes, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. At ND32, that is massive. That's sheer blackout, that is. So I'm tempted to see what that actually does. Might not be able to use it in this light, but we'll give it a go. But what I want to do is try and smooth out this water. It's hard to get a solid focus because the vibration on the tripod, but I'll do the best I can to shield it and just to try and test them out. So yeah, I'm going to unbox these quickly now and have a look inside. I have had a quick look inside this one, but this one I promise is still sealed. I haven't been in it at all. So yeah, this one retails at $72.99 on the Amazon site, 5% off, excuse me nose. in the description below, and if you go on the K&F site, it's £55 and 10% off. You can see that on my little bit of paper there. So yeah, the links are down. Get down in the description, press the drop down button if you can't see everything in the description, and there will be a link down there. But for an ND filter and a polarizer built in for £55 less 10%, so that's another 5% off, so it's 55 quid, and that's posted as well from anywhere in the world, I think. So that's pretty good, that. And yeah, this one's going to be 40 quid, isn't it? Or not far off, which is, again, no, actually less, yeah, 40 quid, not far off of that. Right, so let's get these unboxed quickly in these horrendously windy conditions, and I'll show you what I've got in my hand. So for a minute, let me put that on back of my pocket, and let's have a quick look inside this one. All right, this is proper live boxing. Black box, very simple, nice and easy. Unlike the last ones where I said the boxes are rubbish, there's nothing fancy with that. It is what it is. Comes in a nice plastic case. I need to find somewhere to put these boxes because they're going to blow away. Shove it down there on the floor. Little plastic box, and it's a flip-up box, so that's quite nice. It's good, handy to keep it in your bag. Slot it in the side of your camera bag. It's quite nice. And yeah, flip-up box. Take it out. It's in a little bit of plastic. Let's have a look here. Here we go. Right, there is your filter. Now this is the ND filter. I'm going to put that plastic in my pocket so it don't blow away. Put that in my pocket so it don't blow away. Right, this is an ND filter. It's a variable filter. And I'm just watching the water, and I can hear this log rolling up beside me. Look at this, look. That log there rolling up beside me. So I keep an eye on that water because I'm down on my hands and knees at the moment. And that's going to catch me out. Right, this is your filter. And basically, you twist the front of it, and I can see it working in my hand. You twist the front of it, and if you see there, it goes dark. So, wherever the lighthouse is, let's see if we can do it on the lighthouse. This will be interesting. There's your lighthouse. So there's your lighthouse there. You can twist that round, and it goes darker and darker. So basically, what you're doing is you're shutting down the stops of light. So from there, you're shutting down the shutting down the stops of light. Keep winding it round, and it gets darker and darker and darker. So obviously, the darker it is, the longer the exposure is. So it's giving you can get yourself some nice long exposures, smooth out all the water and stuff like that. So that works pretty well. That's pretty cool. Here comes a gust of wind. Oh, sand in my face. So yeah, that works pretty nicely. So it would be interesting to see what it works like on the lens. In fact, I can put it on the front of this one. I'll put it on the front of this one for you. I know I'm looking at the screen just to see what it does. And there you go, look, it darkens it down, and you probably find the shutter speed's going to react, and the depth of field on me might change now. This would probably be a very, very good thing to have on the front of this camera. So I might purchase one just to put on the front of my video camera, because I think that works quite well. I can now let the light back in, and that's going to speed it up, which is obviously going to up-rate the shutter rate. So for video, that's pretty impressive for video. Look at that, the colours reacting, bringing me back. That's not bad at all. So I'll be interested in getting one of these, maybe for fitting on the front of my old video camera. So that's a 55mm. So let's put this back in this tub. Mr. Rose just come up behind me. He's still shooting. So I'm going to put that back in there for now, and I'll get the other one out. So, where are we? The other one is in a plastic cover, and I do hope you can hear me, because if you can't, it'd be awful, wouldn't it, me standing here doing this? We're going to unwrap it now. We're going to take it out of the plastic bag. Nice little lens cloth. Let's have a look, see what it feels like, because I'm funny when it comes to lens cloths. I like that nice, soft feeling. Oh, that feels quite a nice... That's not a bad little lens cloth, that. Some lens cloths feel a little bit gritty. That feels quite nice and soft. Right, out with the bag. Let's take the bag off. Get rid of that. I keep the packaging so I know what's written on them. There you go, little cardboard box. How do we get into this one? Pull the flap out. Can't get in. Tide staying away. Here we go. Right. Oh, real time. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Put the box down there behind my bag. Plastic box. Again, handy to keep it in your bag. Pull the front open. Nice fitting. Inside we have. This looks really nice. This looks really, really nice. Right. So inside, let's put that in my pocket. This feels very, very nice. This is something that I could definitely do on the front of my video camera. Right, so never seen one before. It's my first experience of one of these. This is it. You've got two little knobbles on the side, one there and one there. I assume that is for adjusting certain parts. Let me just have a look and play. Right, okay, we're with it. Okay, right, I think what this does, this will screw on the front of your lens. Again, this is 77mm. If we hold it up to the lighthouse, which is there, if we spin that round, that's actually, spin it round like that, that's actually a polarizer. So by spinning it round, that gives me the polarization. And then on the top here, let's go back round there, on the top there, if we turn that round, that gives you your NDs. So again, the ND's working like that. If I can put it on the front of the lens again and show you how it works. Let's drop that on the front there. The polarization, let's have a look, see what the polarization, you've got a nice little reflection. Let's see if we can just get rid of that. Oh, it's not easy on my hands. Spin it round. Hard to see the polarizer working. Let's try turning it in my hand. Yeah, there is a bit of polarization, I can see it working, but this is more for the grad. Look at that, wind the grad down, let the camera adjust, and I know I'm looking at you on the screen, I should be looking at you here, but I'm just seeing what it's doing. Wind the grad round, or wind the ND round, it's giving you different shutter speeds then, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to bang this on the front of my lens and give them a go, see how clear they are, see what they work like. But that feels quite nice. This feels like a really good bit of kit. Sand in my face. I've been stood behind you now, he's laughing at me. Oh, my knees are busting. So let me get this on the camera and then I'll come back and I'll give you a test and see what it does. But it looks pretty good. It does look good. Back in a sec.
Look at the...
Dee 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 dee. Right, I'm back. I know I'm dark. I wonder if I can focus on me and see if it'll get the dynamic range back over. Here we come, here we come, here we come. Right, I'm back. Hello. Again, hope you can still hear me all right. I'm facing away from the wind now. And sorry about my nose, it's running like nobody's business. It's on the front of the lens. Here we go, look. There we go, it's on the front. A little slidey thing, and then you can twist it. I've got a 77mm adapter on the front, which I use for my case filters. You can see the lighthouse, which is there on your camera, and the light's shining on it quite nice. So let's switch the camera on. We're in ISO 160, which is standard, and we're going to point it towards the lighthouse. It's going to be a pretty simple test, this is. I'm going to put the lighthouse on the thirds. You've probably already seen a couple of pictures that I've probably popped up from this morning. That's with using my own polarizer and that. Get the camera nice and level, because I like to have the camera level. It's not far off. There we go. Right, back button focus. We're going to focus on the lighthouse. And what have we got this set at now? Let me have a look. So we are in aperture priority. This means the shutter speed will change itself. I'm on f8. I'm going to turn the polarizer to see what the polarizer does. And yes, I can see a difference, just slightly. So I'm going to try something now. I'm going to flick my camera into video mode, which is something I don't do very often. And I'm just going to open my ISO up, see if that makes any difference. No, I don't use this in video. I'll leave it like that. In fact, if I put it into aperture priority, right, I'm going to try the polarizer, and you will see it happen. This might be a little bit dark, but I record it anyway. Press record, it's recording. Now I'm going to turn the polarizer, and we've gone out of focus. Let's see if we can focus it. It's not focusing very well. Like I said, I'm not very good at using this camera for video, but you can see the polarizers happening up in the top right hand corner. So the ND grad, you can also see the ND grad darkening it down and lighting it back up. So the ND grad, no, I keep calling it a grad, it's not a grad at all, it's an ND filter. Right, let's stop that live view, let's go back to camera. We're going to flick that back around to a single shot, get the polarizer set the best I can, which for me is about there. It gives a bit of definition in the sky. I'm going to refocus and I'll wind the ND back to 0. Aperture lock on f8. It's giving me a 13th of a second. So let's put 2-second timer on. I'll take one at this 2-second timer. Like I said, the camera's shaking a bit. Composition's not perfect. That was a 13th of a second. I'm now going to hold the filter and I'm going to turn it up to the first notch, which is the first one. It's gone down to 1/8 of a second now. The colours look really nice, the skies looks really good, and the colour does look nice. I'm now going to wind it down. I'm going to do this quite quick to the next stop. It's giving me 1/4 of a second. Excuse me. Yeah, there is some nice colour in the sky, I must admit. Right, that's not bad. Let's wind it right down now all the way to the end. That's now giving me 1 second. So again, exactly the same shot. And I'll put all these photographs up for you so you can see them all. Let me just focus and let's have a look on the focus, see if the lighthouse is sharp. Zoom in, yeah, the lighthouse is lovely and sharp. So that shows you on that difference what we can get away with. And the pictures do look pretty clean and sharp, to be honest. Let me just test the polarizer again, see if I can get any more difference on the polarizer. That's about as good as it's going to get. I'm going to zoom right in now on the lighthouse. I'm going to put it on a different position. This way it should just give us a bit of colour on the lighthouse, because the sun's just up behind me. Again, focus on it. I'm on full ND and polarization. 2 second timer. 1, 2, click. And I'm going to wind it. That was at 1.3 of a second, or 1/3 of a second. We're going to go halfway down, which is 1/10 of a second. I know it's a very simple test. The wind's blowing me off my feet, and I've got my back to you. And I'm going to wind it all the way open, so it's as bright as it'll go. That's giving me 1/15 of a second. So you'll see the difference in the water probably on all of them. Right, that's a simple test for that one. I'm very happy with that for what it is. I'm now going to swap it over. And you can see me taking this one off and swapping it over for the other one. And again, I'm rambling on. I know I said this is going to be quick, but it's as quick as it can be for me talking. Let's get this case open. I'm going to wind that off of the filter ring. Let's say I've got a 77mm filter ring on this lens, which is standard for me. Put that back in its box. Mr. O standing there watching me behind. He's right behind there thinking this guy can't shut up. He keeps on and on and on. Right, let's go for this one. This has got no polarizer on this one, but this is the cheaper. Whoa, nearly lost me a little bit of foam. This is the cheaper screw-on filter, and this is an ND filter. This is lightweight. This is simple. If you just want to take one filter out of you, from a 32 right down to a 2, this is probably one of the best bets you're ever going to get. But I do like the polarization one. Let's spin it back round again. Switch the camera back on. Let's see how we get on with this one. Again, I'm going to keep talking. I'll keep it nice and zoomed in on the lighthouse. It looks pretty good for colours, let's put it that way. So what are we on now? We are wide open. I'm going to bring you a bit closer so you can see this on the back of the camera. If I can get you close enough to see it on the back of the camera. Pull my tripod up a bit higher. Right. Let's see if we can get you watching this. Here we go, here we go, here we go. This is much better. I can talk to you and show you what we're doing. Right, you can see the lighthouse. The lighthouse is on the thirds and the colours look absolutely stunning on the Fuji. It's going to take it over and focus it. Nice and focused. Back button focus on this one here. Dead easy. Once it's done that, whenever you press this, it doesn't move. I've got it zoomed right in. Now, if I go to the front of this and I turn the filter, you'll see the image change. And then the shutter speed here changing. So that's wide open. See it go dark until it adjusts itself. So it's down to 2 seconds. Is that 0.2 of a second? So there's 20. Let's make sure my timer's on. 2 second timer. Let's try that. 2 second timer. Click. Beautiful, beautiful colours. Let's turn the polarization, not the polarization, but the ND down a little bit more. That's looking good. And you can see the way it goes darker and darker. Absolutely stunning. And we're going to wind it right down, which is going to give us a slightly longer shutter speed. Again, in aperture priority, I haven't got to mess with anything because it's as simple as pressing the button. So if I go back to live view now, these are the images. There's one. Flip it over to the next one. There's 2. And flip it over to the next one. There's 3. All the colours are exactly the same. They don't change. But what does change is look at the water. You've got very static water. Can I zoom in on it for you? There we go, you've got very static water there. And go back out to the next one. Gone the wrong way. Go back out to the last one, shall we? And we'll zoom in on that for you. And you can see the way the water's all moving now. So that's the difference between changing the filters. So I quite like that. Again, for the video, it'd be absolutely fantastic. And for a lightweight piece of kit, that really does work well. So it's taking it all the way from 25 all the way down to 2.5. And again, we're at the shutter button, we'll give it another one. There's a bit of water movement. There we go. So that's as simple as it is for taking pictures. And if we open it right up, you can get even more water movement. Let's just see if we can get a bit of a difference for you with the clouds. I thought 32 would be quite strong, but it's not actually as strong as I thought it would be. Oh, what have I done? Take focus point over there. We're rambling on. 2-second timer with it wide open, like so. There we go, a nice sharp image on all the water, and then we're going to wind it all the way to the other end, let it catch up of itself. See the histogram readjust, take another one, and this should just smooth out the water a little bit. There we go. So it's not giving you a massive long time, but it's giving you plenty time to bring up the water. And you can see there, nice and sharp, and you get this nice bit of movement in the water. So, let me spin you back round. Mr. O's going to be here, he's going to run away, he's hiding. Oh, excuse me for getting, this is really rough time, isn't it? Right, got me finger stuck in a tripod. Right, that's it. That's all I wanted to do, just show you those filters. I will do a comparison, why we're not watching. The light's coming across here beautifully now. So we're going to go to a different location, and I might get the filters back out again and try them with mine and just see the difference. But yeah, this one with a polarizer in it, it's a little bit dearer. Like I said, I think I just said it was about 50 quid to buy, but I think for £50 to have one lens that is a polarizer, which you cannot fake a polarizer in Photoshop and Lightroom. You can't fake that at all. And you have your ND. So that's a neutral density filter ranging from 2 to 32 apparently. Not sure whether it is 32, I don't think it's as strong as that. I've got a lead super stopper, which is about 15 stops. That you could not take a picture in this light with at all. So I don't think this is a 32, but it's definitely giving you polarization. Waterfalls, smoothing out a little bit of the water on the sea, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I actually quite recommend this. For video, 100%. For stills, lightweight kit, definitely. So yeah, that's the end of that review. That's all I wanted to do. Quick one to fill a gap for you. Another one of my straight out of Compton. Not going to mess around. No bullshit with me. It's all going to be pretty honest and fair as plain as I can make it sound to you. So yeah, check out the links below if you're interested in these. Give us a comment. Give us a shout. Yeah, if you're interested in me testing them in any other way, let me know and I'll test them out for you. But yeah, thanks for watching. Till next time. Mr. O's hiding away there. He's all wrapped up tidy and clean. And we're going to take a few more photographs and enjoy the rest of the morning, and I'll bob them all up at the end of this anyway, so you can have a look at the comparisons. All the images I've just taken will come up, and then I'll put the details at the bottom so all the XFDs is there as well. So that's it from me. Ciao for now.